Strangers from Hell follows a broke writer living in Eden's studio, and his neighbours, they aren't just quirky, they're physically hunting him. Meet Seok-yoon. In a building full of cannibals, he decides the most terrifying thing that he can do is drop an unsolicited mixtape in the park. Usually, the show looks like it's been filmed in a jar of pickles, but don't be fooled, it's a total trap. It makes Jung-woo look even more out of place, and the episode hurls you back into Eden's studio with an aggressive pan. The wide lens stretches right through the corridor, making it look warped, like the building itself is chasing you. We suddenly stop on Jung-woo's face. The camera locks in close, and all that external chaos collapses into one thing, his anxiety. We cut to this guy, no panic, no urgency, just a body slumped in bed, like he's been fermenting there for hours. And with an ankle monitor, already not a great sign, and the camera glides up to reveal him chewing on a pair of women's tights. When he rips off his glasses, that's the final confirmation. This isn't just a weirdo, this is full-on, please don't live on my floor energy. The scene opens with a stable wide shot, establishing a moment of domestic calm, but the too fake disrupts this balance, signaling that something is wrong beneath the surface. As she digs for answers online, the camera shifts to a high angle, abandoning the stability. We switch to Jung-woo mirroring her position, but notice the lighting difference. While she is surrounded by negative space exposed, he is boxed in by shadows, trapped. The show is visually telling us she is finally entering the nightmare that he is already living in. This is a guy who has zero privacy. The cinematography here is genius because it feels invasive. We're peeking in on his breakdown, just like the neighbours are peeking in on his life. We see that his charger was actually broken, which immediately snaps the tension. We can officially let him off the hook. He isn't playing mind games, he's just a normal guy. And notice how the colour grading supports this realisation. Unlike the sickly greens and the cold, sterile tones we usually see in The Residence, this scene is washed in warmer, softer amber hues. The skin tones look natural again, and the shadows aren't as crushing. This shift in colour temperature subconsciously signals to the audience that the danger has shifted. It's a visual safe zone, reinforcing that Jung-woo has finally found a genuine human connection in this nightmare. The camera settles. We switch to a natural eye-level perspective that finally feels grounded. To match that normalcy, look at the spacing between them. In The Residence, the neighbours constantly invade Jung-woo's personal bubble, forcing an uncomfortable intimacy. But here we get a balanced two-shot with respectful distance. There's actually looking room. Empty space in the frame that doesn't feel like it's hiding a threat. Even in the open air, the camera frames them against these harsh industrial diagonals. The stairs don't feel like a path to freedom. They look like a geometric cage. It's the director's way of saying that Jung-woo's mind is still trapped. You can leave the building, but the architecture of his paranoia is now baked into how he sees the world. And check out Seok-yoon's shirt. This isn't just streetwear for a rapper. It's a split design flannel. And that visual bisection is vital. One half is a standard, approachable pattern, the side of him that's a normal kid just trying to make it. But the other half is dark and checkered, perfectly mirroring the jagged, chaotic energy of Eden's studio. He's literally a walking 50-50 split. To Jung-woo, he's a lifeline, but visually is already being claimed by the environment.
Usually in horror, the monster stays in the shadows. But in this scene, the lighting doesn't shift. We are kept in the safe zone, that warm, natural light that usually represents comfort. By refusing to dim the lights, the cinematography tells us that Moonjo is perfectly comfortable in the normal world. He isn't hiding. He's standing in the sun, owning the air in the frame. The cinematography maps out this power struggle perfectly. Moonjo owns the negative space in the frame, while Jung-woo and Seok-yoon are cornered against the industrial lines of the stairs. Even the camera begins to shake with a subtle handheld tremor, as if it's terrified of him. While Seok-yoon gives a polite nod that practically hits the floor, Moonjo doesn't even acknowledge him. He is laser-focused on Jung-woo, his head tilted as he aggressively tries to force a staring competition. Jung-woo feels this gaze like a physical weight. He shrinks away from the neighbor from hell, using Seok-yoon as a subconscious physical shield.
As Moonjo walks past, Jung-woo subtly shifts his weight closer to Moonjo. It's a magnetic, involuntary pull towards the very person he's trying to ignore. Jung-woo finally lifts his head once the danger is past. He watches Moonjo's retreating back for a long, intense while. his eyes lingering on the black silhouette. And in the distance, when Joe stops on the landing, he doesn't turn his body, but he looks back over his shoulder. A lonely, depressed figure in the background, staring at Jung-woo with the ultimate "I didn't get my weight" out. You can almost hear him as thinking, "Stupid Seok-yoon, ruining my vibe. Jung-woo's mine."
Jung-woo and Seok-yoon stand in a wide, paved clearing. The massive expanse of negative space, the gray sky and open pavement finally serves a positive purpose. The open space represents a temporary safety zone away from the dark energy of the residence. The camera lingers on Jung-woo's face as he genuinely relaxes and smiles. For a few frames, the paranoia lens is swapped for a friendship lens. He looks like a normal young man again, enjoying a conversation with a sweet, energetic younger brother figure. Seok-yoon is out here living his best life, dropping bars about it. Money, hey. While Jung-woo sits there questioning every life choice that led him to this stone block. If you don't speak Korean, all you hear is the money, hey. Part, and honestly, same. Jung-woo, same.
Hey kid, don't ever let them get inside your head. They'll tell you what to do in life instead of everything you know that you could get. Don't let them guide your life towards regret. I'll fight for what I love with every breath. My past is filled with things I won't forget. I use them all to push me to my best. So treat the worst of times just like a test. If only I could go back in time, I'd tell myself that everything will end up alright. Just push yourself, test yourself, figure out what you like, and find your limits, don't be rigid, always work towards a prime. Surround yourself with open minds, people can change your life. A few friends with intent can help you feel alive. Find a passion, take some action, and with a little time, just be patient, make a statement, try to enjoy your life. They'll try to kick you while you're down. They wanna rise up while you drown. They wanna fill your head with doubt. They're silently scared that you'll figure it out. I'll make it look like I'm losing, won't bother hiding my bruises. And when they finally think you're wounded, then it's your chance to be ruthless. They don't wanna see me care. Anytime I make some progress, I can see that they compare. I think everyone's against me, maybe something in the air. Am I paranoid? I swear a void is forming and they're scared I walk a straight path. Not many can say that. I like to play fast, cross me and there's payback.
The cinematography here uses a striking over-the-head god shot as Seok-yoon moves between the rooms. This angle makes the hallway look like a dollhouse or a laboratory. By looking straight down, the camera emphasizes that there is no privacy in Eden's studio. The moment he pulls out a blowtorch and lets out a weird high-pitched giggle is one of the most unsettling character beats yet. The twins have always had a stunted childlike quality. To Seok-yoon, the blowtorch isn't just a weapon, it's a favourite toy that reminds him of better times with his sibling. It's a twisted form of grief that actually makes you feel a tiny bit of pity for him before you remember what he actually does with it. Jung-woo dropping the formalities and moving to casual speech is a massive emotional beat. For Jung-woo, this isn't just about being friendly, it's about reclaiming his humanity. In Eden's studio, he's a target. With Seok-yoon, he's a person. This bond is what keeps him from completely falling into that murderous look Seok-yoon noticed earlier. Then comes the bombshell. Seok-yoon is stuck there for 6 months. 6 months at Eden's studio isn't a lease, it's a horror movie timeline. It's like being stuck in Spain during the dead of winter, when all the tourists vanish. The fog rolls in, and it turns into a total Silent Hill nightmare.
I'll never slow up, no I don't take sh**. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up.
Agreeing to be the lookout sets up a high-stakes game of cat and mouse. The contrast in this sequence is gut-wrenching. We go from the genuine, warm bromance of the pub to the cold, suspicious atmosphere of the city streets, where Jung-woo's personal life is slowly unraveling. When Seok Yoon says he's jealous of Jung-woo having a girlfriend, it's that moment that can be read in a few different ways. When Seok Yoon looks Jung-woo up and down, smirks, and then drops his head in defeat, he isn't just reacting to the word girlfriend. He's reacting to Jung-woo. You can categorize this behavior through these three options. The wholesome soulmate longing. This is the most human read. They bonded over being outsiders in a cold city. His look of defeat is the sad realization that while Jung-woo has become his emotional anchor, he is just a neighbor to Jung-woo. It's pure lonely longing for connection. The intimate attraction. That slow visual appraisal, the up and down, is a classic film language for attraction. The Merc says, "I see you, but I can't have you." It's a very intimate moment that suggests Seok Yoon is genuinely into Jung-woo. The Munjo-like possession. This is the Eden Studio effect. While not as predatory as the dentist, Seok Yoon's jealousy has a streak of possessiveness. He wants to be the one Jung-woo trusts by promising to do anything for him. He's trying to claim a spot as Jung-woo's primary protector, mirroring Munjo's obsession, but with a sweeter mask. And comment below, which vibe are you feeling more? Is he just a sweet new friend? Or is he starting to show that Munjo possession, where he wants Jung-woo all to himself? And notice how they just walk away. It's that awkward lingering goodbye where they say bye like twice. The teenage phone call vibe. It's total that you hang up first, no you hang up scenario. Neither of them, especially Seok Yoon, actually wants to break the connection. And after that intense moment of connection, Seok Yoon has to turn around and walk back to Eden Studio alone. We open with an extreme high angle shot looking down at Jung-woo. He is a tiny speck in the center of a massive amount of negative space. This framing makes him look completely isolated and weak, a stark contrast to the low angle powerful shots used for Jung-hwa when she investigated the clinic. A car pulls up, its headlights cutting a sharp path through the night, visually separated from the bright world of Ji-yoon and the sleek boss. The camera tilts and drops to an extra low angle beneath his eye line. Even in the darkness, he suddenly looks massive and foreboding. The victim framing is gone. Now he looks like the predator watching from the wings. As the camera focuses on the phone, the shaky handheld movements reveal his internal chaos. It's not just someone's in my room, it's someone who's touching my new best friend. And seeing his girlfriend with Jae-ho makes him feel that relationship is already dead. He thinks she's fine with that dickhead, but Seok Yoon is in actual danger. He effectively chooses this bromance because Seok Yoon is the only person who hasn't betrayed him yet. He doesn't just walk away, he sprints. As Jung-woo abandons the scene, the camera lingers on a silver of a shadow behind the pillar. It suggests that while Jung-woo is focused on saving his mate, Munjo is focused on watching Jung-woo evolve. There's a lingering sense that this whole scenario is pulling Jung-woo exactly where the residents want him, away from his old life and deeper into theirs. Jung-woo was drenched in sickly yellow light, making him look jaundiced and physically overwhelmed by the rot of the Eden Studio. The camera stays tight on his face, emphasizing his isolation. He says, "I told you not to mess with them. They could have stabbed you with a knife." And the driver, he's bathed in cold clinical blue light, which contrasts sharply with sickly yellow glow surrounding Jung-woo in the back seat. This visual separation highlights that while they're in the same vehicle, they are in completely different emotional worlds. The way the red light is nearly fully consuming Seok Yoon is a visual countdown. He is literally being coloured by the violence of the residents. This encounter at the entrance of Eden Studio marks a chilling evolution in the predatory dynamics of the residents. The visual language shifts to show that even the weaker residents are becoming more direct, while Jung-woo's eternal darkness is starting to grant him a new, terrifying kind of power. The most unsettling part of this scene is the sudden disappearance of Juk-jong's giggling mask. As Juk-jong drops the act, he is framed with a bisected lighting. Half his face is in harsh light, and the other half is swallowed by deep shadow. This visually confirms his dual nature, cold, calculated persona of his deceased brother, and devoid of his usual tics. The camera lingers on this menacing serious stare, but a beat too long, shifting the power dynamic instantly, and just as quickly as the mask drops, it snaps back into place. He returns to his snickering and giggling, claiming he was just joking as he walks off. Jung-woo's priority remains to the roof. He shrugs off, a literal psychopath, because his new best friend is in danger, showing that his bond with Seok Yoon has overridden his survival instincts. Jung-woo looks back from the stairs. He is framed from a steep low angle, making him look like a dark, powerful guardian heading to the final floor. He's fed up, terrified, and ready to kill to reach Seok Yoon. The rooftop is an island of relative calm. Behind them, Seoul is sprawling out of focus, sea of blue and green bokeh. Jungwoo and Seok-yoon are both dressed in white, making them stand out as the only pure figures against a murky background. Seok-yoon has a hint of red in his jacket, a visual stain suggesting the residence hasn't finished with him yet. The background remains beautiful, soft bokeh keeping the focus entirely on the intimate conversation. This framing isolates them, making them appear vulnerable in their own bubble of safety. As Jungwoo expresses his desire to flee, Seok-yoon bows his head. It's a moment of visual defeat. He knows Jungwoo is right to leave, but he's devastated at the prospect of being left alone with the monsters. Seok-yoon's expression reflects a transparent, selfish attempt to keep his only protector by his side. Their bromance is his only anchor to this nightmare. While Jungwoo is venting his anger, and Jungwoo says, "That one guy calling us honey, with that look in his eyes, it's sick." Sorry, Jungwoo, but we all know Munjo's honey is a one-on-one special. You're the only babe on the dentist's list. Seok-yoon's instincts kick in. The camera captures him, looking over his shoulder. Munjo materializes from the darkness, extinguishing a cigarette. This introduces a new layer to his character, the smoke acting as a physical manifestation of his clouded and dangerous nature. As Jungwoo turns, the cinematography creates a striking visual line between him and Seok-yoon. This framing suggests that even though they are a team, they are now both within the predator's sightline. Munjo uses physical proximity as a weapon to assert control over Jungwoo. Munjo immediately violates Jungwoo's personal space. He gets uncomfortably close, looming over Jungwoo to create an instant physical and psychological discomfort. Munjo barely acknowledges Seok-yoon's presence, focusing entirely on Jungwoo. This dismissal of Seok-yoon frames Jungwoo as his prize, creating a chilling sense of ownership. When Munjo mimes a stabbing motion with his fist, the tension peaks. Jungwoo's nervous look reveals his deep-seated fear, while Munjo's calm praise for Jungwoo's dark thoughts suggests he's successfully molding Jungwoo into his own image. The interaction between Munjo and Jungwoo is thick with a complex, disturbing energy. As Jungwoo leans near the rooftop edge, Munjo warns, "You might fall," and touches his back. This is a double metaphor and the psychological warning that Jungwoo is on the verge of falling into his own darkness. And the way Munjo gazes at Jungwoo, and the look he gives Seok-yoon afterwards, as if to say, "He's mine," suggests a predatory obsession that Jungwoo is clearly flustered and confused by. Seok-yoon's comment that Munjo is downright creepy, but really handsome, highlights the seductive nature of the danger Munjo represents. The scene concludes with a bizarrely intimate suggestion from Jungwoo to have a shower together. In a residence as filthy and poisoned as Eden Studio, the desire to shower can be seen as a subconscious need to wash away the dirt of Eden Studio. Well, let's play video games might be more standard. Let's shower together is the ultimate sign that Jungwoo feels Seok-yoon is the only person he can truly be vulnerable with in this hellhole, and the shower scene is dark comedy at best. The camera constantly shoots from the hallway, framing Jungwoo and Seok-yoon from the narrow, rectangular opening of the door. This framing mimics the view of a stalker, suggesting that they're never truly alone, even in a locked room. The dialogue and the physical behaviour in this scene reveal a deep, almost desperate emotional reliance forming between the two men. The shift from the clunky themed stock subtitle to the original Korean meaning, "My precious one," reframes the entire energy of this scene. It is a verbal claim of ownership. Seok-yoon is carving out a safe space for them, using intimacy as a shield against the residents' wrath. Jungwoo's body language is noticeably loose compared to his rigid, terrified stance when Munjo calls him honey. His posture here is genuine. Nurmbuk isn't just listening to the noise, he's listening to the bond. To an observer in the hallway, the moaning and the giggles sound like a level of closeness that's forbidden in Eden Studio, unless it's with Munjo. So if you're watching the hallway scene and the subtitles feel like a broken finance textbook, you're right. In English, those stock metaphors just don't land. In British slang, to understand why this scene is so funny to a British audience, you have to translate it into British lad culture. Hey, theme stock. It's a massive compliment in the UK. The best way to say this is, hey golden. Calling a mate golden is the ultimate one-word way to say they are your favourite or most special person. It's Jungwoo's secret code for my precious one. Finally, when Jungwoo talks about calculating things when meeting a girlfriend, it's way too stiff. In the UK, we don't calculate girls, we overthink the play. The natural way to say this Don't be overthinking the play too much. The cinematography makes us feel like we're intruding on their private moment, while the boys are just having a laugh. The way it's shot turns their top-tier banter into something that sounds completely different to the rest of the house. You can see how Seok-yoon is constantly moving in Jung-woo's space. He's flirting with him all the way through, and he can't help but keep reaching out to touch him. Even more importantly, look at Jung-woo's face. You see a genuine smile here. The cinematography in this scene is brilliant because it uses the long, narrow hallway as leading lines, naturally drawing your eye towards the two of them. He finally feels like he has an ally, and the way they use the phrase theme stocks has become their own little innuendo. To anyone else, it's a weird financial joke, but to them, it's a way of saying, "You're my golden one." The cinematography begins with eternal framing. By capturing the protagonist through his reflection, rather than directly, the camera establishes a sense of distance and othering. When he discovers the gum on the glass, the mirror acts as a physical barrier that is literally being defaced. Visually, this suggests that his identity is being clouded and made disgusting by the inhabitants of the building. The clinical cold lighting in this space emphasizes a lack of warmth and safety. It feels more like a cage than a bathroom. The director uses deep space composition to maximize dread. The narrow hallway creates sharp lines that converge towards the center of the frame. This tunnel effect makes the space feel inescapable. By placing the antagonist in the deep background and the protagonist in the foreground, the cinematography creates a power imbalance. Nam-buk stands like a glitch in the darkness outside Jung-woo's door, the knife in his hand catching a stray glint of jaundiced light. He grips his phone tight. He's capturing the evidence he needs. A sharp voice cuts through the tension. "What are you doing there?" The camera captures Jung-woo and Bok-soon in a two-shot. Jung-woo turns towards Seok-yoon. A visible wave of relief washes over his face as he finds someone he can actually trust. Even as the characters retreat towards the camera, the director utilizes triangular blocking to maintain a sense of unease. Seok-yoon walks side by side towards the lens. This creates a horizontal line that suggests they're unified, providing a sense of mutual protection. Miss follows behind them, positioned perfectly between them in the background. By keeping her at the center rear, she becomes a constant looming threat that is literally following the protagonists, reinforcing that they are being herded or watched. The fact that she can be so physically violent, berating him about the rent and wallpaper as another unpredictable element enters the already cramped hallway. It is easy to imagine this entire sequence as a bizarre, choreographed slapping session that the residents practiced behind closed doors just to mess with Jung-woo's head. When Miss delivers the aggressive slap, the dialogue, "You slapped me too hard," sounds less like a victim cry and more like an actor given a technical note during a dress rehearsal. The cinematography treats Jok-jong bouncing as a rhythmic anomaly that breaks the tension of the scene, while Jung-woo and Miss are fixed points. Jok-jong is a point that's constantly vibrating. We've all had a moment where we're 100% right about something. Because we're stressed or angry, we lose our cool. The shots of Seok-yoon are the most relatable part. He has that "I don't know this guy" look on his face. The camera captures his ashamed, wide-eyed stare, the look of a friend who he wants to support is currently dying of embarrassment because you're throwing a stranger's stuff around. The heavy blurring in the scene is a fascinating intersection of the South Korean broadcasting laws and psychological storytelling. Korea has an incredibly strict regulation regarding the depiction of harmful imagery. Knife, cigarette brands, and adult content on screens are routinely blurred to comply with Korea's Communication Standards Commissions. Seok-yoon is the only sane person left. He's acting as a literal human anchor, physically dragging his friend away from a life-ruining mistake. His nervous eye dodge is just pure relatable second-hand embarrassment. He's thinking, "Bloody hell, this is awkward. Why is my friend trashing a pervert's room at 3 o'clock in the morning?" And look at the gaze. Seok-yoon's staring at Jung-woo with an intensity that he immediately hides the second Jung-woo looks his way. He's holding him incredibly close, chest to back, in a way that feels heavy and protective. This downward glance isn't just shame. It's the look of someone who is suddenly very aware of the person in his arms. And comment below, what's your take on this hug? Is Seok-yoon just being the ultimate ride or die buddy, protecting his friend from the social suicide? Or is the cinematography hinting at something a bit more intimate? That nervous eye dodge says a lot. What do you think? When Jung-woo says, "Should I help you take it off?" it's such an odd, aggressive choice of words. Most people would just say, "Lift your shirt." By saying "help you," Jong-woo accidentally mirrors the creepy, intimate energy of Eden's studio. This is where the scene gets truly skin-crawling. Nam-book doesn't react like a victim. It reacts like he's enjoying the attention. That moan as he drops his pants is a deliberate character choice to de-escalate Jong-woo's power. Acting like he's enjoying the humiliation, Nam-book takes the weapon of the shame away from Jong-woo. The cinematography specifically focuses on the trousers hitting the floor. In that sickly green-blue light, it emphasizes the lack of privacy, the base. It's relatable in the worst way, that feeling of being in a situation that is getting way too weird way too fast. Half of his face is swallowed by a pitch-black shadow, leaving one eye looking like an empty socket. He knows about the shower incident. He's heard the rumours of Jong-woo and Seok-yoon laughing and bonding. The camera moves to Jeok-jong. When he raises a hand to scratch his back, the camera catches a glint of the knife tucked securely in the back of his waistband, and a close-up of Jong-woo, deeply oily shadows masking half his face. The camera is mounted directly to the ceiling, looking straight down. The wide-angle lens distorts the edge of the room. Jong-woo stands dead center. He is asleep on his feet. Jong-woo slumps onto the bed, making his collapse look heavy and mechanical, zombie-like. The humanity is gone from the physics of his body. As he walks out of Eden's studio, he's still wearing his slippers. This visual cue serves as a glitch in his reality. He is so psychologically drained and out of it that he has crossed the threshold into the outside world while still physically tethered to the trauma of the residence. He has swapped the slippers for his trainers. The camera moves into a tight close-up on his face. His expression here is one of pure heavy exhaustion. In this sequence, the visual storytelling shifts from physical isolation of Eden's studio to an internal psychological isolation within a crowded office. Byung-min growls at Jong-woo. Jong-woo slowly turns his head towards him. His face is a pale, vacant mask. There's no apology or fear, just a hollow, emotionless void. He looks over his shoulder, his face twisted, of pure, jagged annoyance. The light in his eyes is replaced by a murderous heat. He doesn't just look, he stares a hole through Jae-ho. His voice is a low, vibrating snarl that cuts through the office hum. "Shut the hell up before I kill you." As Jae-ho stares back, the camera begins a slow whip pan across the back of Jong-woo's head, moving from left side to the right side. This is the most crucial shot by using Jong-woo's head as a whip for the camera. The director tells the audience that the violence is internal. It emphasizes that Jong-woo wishes he could say it, but he's still socially paralyzed. The cinematography here isn't just watching the scene, it's telling us that Moon-jo's soul is starting to wear Jong-woo's skin. We see Jong-woo's reflection, looking at himself. He's looking through the glass at Byung-min. He's unnervingly still. He doesn't say a word, he doesn't need to. He just levels Byung-min with a vacant, emotionless stare. The silence is heavy and suffocating. Byung-min scurries out the bathroom, his footsteps quick and uneven. This is the most dangerous kind of smile. It's not a villain smile yet. It's a smile of a man who has finally found a way to stop the pain. And that way just happens to be the darkness Moon-jo offered him. It feels genuine to him because for the first time, he doesn't feel like a victim. Sits as a frozen statue in the center of the frame. Jong-woo's face is a vacant mask. There's no warmth, no buddy-buddy comfort. He looks like a man mid-mutation. And Seok-yoon is lit in a sterile clinical blue. It's the color of the hospital or morgue. Cold, vulnerable and clean. Filmed from the side, he's reaching out for human warmth, but the lighting tells us he's already a specimen being watched by the darkness. And Jong-woo hangs up. He continues to stare at the yellow wall, his face a perfect mirror of the creeps he just warned his friend about. The buddy-buddy dynamic has completely dissolved. Seok-yoon is calling someone he thinks is a protector, but the cinematography reveals the truth. Jong-woo has already turned. The yellow lighting acts as a visible sign of the infection, showing that Jong-woo has lost his humanity and is now just as emotionless as the other residents. Jong-woo stands, his movements are mechanical, zombie-like. He reaches over and picks up Byung-min's keyboard. He holds it like a weapon. With a sudden, violent burst of movement, Jong-woo hurls the keyboard across the room. By keeping the focus sharp as he throws the keyboard, the cinematography emphasizes deliberation. This isn't a blind temper tantrum. The sharp lines of his body shows that he knows exactly what he's doing. And as he stamps on the laptop, the camera is positioned low. This angle gives him a predatory stature. The sharpness of the shot captures the physical impact and the keyboard cracking. The shift to the CCTV perspective is chilling, while Jong-woo feels a sense of private relief and genuine joy in his violence. The camera pushes into extreme close-up of Jung-woo's face. Reporting the boys to the staff is a socially acceptable action, but the cinematography tells the truth. He didn't do it because he respects the rules. He did it because he wanted to exert power. The infection is deep now. He's no longer a victim of bullies. He's the one who decides who gets to stay in the room. One of the teens spot him, and it creates a brilliant bit of dramatic irony. The kid thinks, I found a snitch to bully, but the audience knows he's actually targeted a man who is mid-transformation into a predator. As Jung-woo walks home, every time a bike enters his space, the camera stays at a medium distance. This framing is intentional. It provides enough space to see the chaos around him, but centers his entirely blank expression. He's the eye of the storm, perfectly calm while the world is frantic. As a bike turns towards him, he doesn't flinch. He simply pivots and walks in a different direction. The camera follows this movement with a smooth robotic pan, suggesting that his avoidance is now a programmed instinct. The yellow light begins to dominate the frame, visually signaling that he is coming home to the place that created this version of him. And when the teens corner him, the medium shots establish the physical barrier. However, as they begin to smile a cruel, mocking grin, the cinematography links their expressions to the Eden Studio smile. To Jung-woo, they are no longer just street bullies. They are visual echoes of Juk-jong's smile. By panning down the alleyway, the agonizing moaning and the slamming bricks are sounds we naturally attribute to a victim being beaten. We assume it's Jung-woo because he's the protagonist. Pan continues until we see one teen running for his life. The camera settles into a low-angle shot of Jung-woo, making him look dominant. Jung-woo's face is a mess. Blood from the brick wound pools in his mouth, but the medium shot shows no pain. He doesn't look like a man who just got hit with a brick. He looks like a machine that sustained minor damage and kept functioning. The camera's focus is razor sharp on his eyes, which has gone dead. In the military flashback, Jung-woo is the only one who can stop the violence. Seeing Seok-yoon bleeding on the ground is a direct manifestation of Jung-woo's guilt to protect the only normal person left in his life. Munjo's line in the dream, "You liked him too, right?" is a masterclass in psychological manipulation. He's twisting Jung-woo's healthy affection for Seok-yoon and making it feel like something dark. Seok-yoon looks up to Jung-woo as a big brother figure. His possessiveness is rooted in a desire for safety and shared humanity in a house full of creeps. He wants Jung-woo to stay close so they can both survive. Munjo's affection is purely artistic and destructive. He views Jung-woo as a piece of art. His possessiveness is about isolation. He wants to kill or drive away everyone Jung-woo likes, like Seok-yoon, so that Munjo is the only thing left in Jung-woo's world. By bringing back the previous tenant, the show presents a physical manifestation of Jung-woo's future. Hee-jung isn't just a ghost, he's a warning that Eden Studio is a machine that processes normal people into crazy ones. The blue palette mimics institutional lighting. Think of a morgue or a prison. It suggests that Jung-woo's mind is becoming a cold, unfeeling place, where his empathy for people like Seok-yoon is being frozen out. Jung-woo's dialogue, believing people only come to their senses after being beaten up. He's adapted on how the predators think. The close-up on his bloody hands serves that he's no longer an innocent observer. He is an active participant in the cycle of violence. And his final giggle is the most chilling element. It signifies the loss of his sympathy, birth of a new creep. The camera slowly approaches a dazed and injured Jung-woo, building tension as it mimics a predator stalking its prey. The floor shots from the side create a triangular composition between the two. This geometry visually traps Jung-woo at the base of the triangle, while Munjo sits at the apex, representing his control over Jung-woo's current state. "You're badly hurt, and don't worry, I'll be by your side," is delivered with a chilling tenderness. The framing and the softness of the delivery gives the scene a twisted romantic feel. It suggests an intimacy that Munjo believes they share. His promise to be by your side is a declaration of total possession. He's no longer just next to Jung-woo, he's inside his mind. In episode 7 of Strangers from Hell, the psychological walls are closing in on Jung-woo, and the cinematography begins to reflect his internal fragmentation. That final giggle at his own bloody knuckles proves he's no longer fighting the creeps, he's joined them. Munjo didn't just find a victim, he found his masterpiece.